Hey, this is Glenn Ackerman. Wanted to add to the video series of what I've been doing with energy awareness, and to give kind of like a primer for people who have heard me speak about energy and really would like to get a little bit more information about how it is, how it works, and why it's so important. So that's what this is going to be about here. So let's dive in, shall we? Energy awareness training. That's what I teach. That's what I do. Where did I come up with it? Why am I doing it? Why is it so important? Okay, let's answer these questions. I had a revelation here that was right under my nose for many years, because my 7th grade science teacher told me, maybe he told you the same thing. Were we in the same class? That everything that we're dealing with in this world is energy. Have you heard that before? Everything is that we live in an energetic world, and that everything is made up of molecules in motion. Our bodies, the air, the furniture, the car, the plants, the water, it's all variations of energy. And I remember hearing that and going, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, everything's molecules. Yeah. And I didn't think twice about it. And it wasn't until I was on a personal journey to try to make changes in my life, and I had been frustrated and I hadn't been able to make the changes that I want to overcome stuff like anxiety and fears and negative voices or negative thoughts in my head. You might have seen my other videos where I talk about that extensively, of me going through different courses and seminars and stuff, trying to heal that and deal with that, heal and deal with it, which none of it worked. And I guess everything happens for a reason, because it was because of all that study and all that, the pursuit of knowledge and trying to understand and trying to look for a method that worked, that brought me into an understanding of energy. And I had 3 pivotal teachers that steered me in the right direction. One was an energy master from China and the Philippines, who was one of the greatest influences in my life. I loved him dearly. Unfortunately, he's no longer on the planet. But he taught me about how energy works, and he was able to demonstrate different energy phenomena and opened me up to this world that I never knew existed, in the understanding and the creation and the be able to direct energy, to direct current, to direct force, so to speak. And then I had a second teacher who taught me about neuroscience and taught me about neurophysiology, and brought me into a world of understanding that there was a lot more going on than we can see. And he was able to do remarkable things. He's still on the planet, by the way, and still operating, and I'm indebted to him for all the knowledge that he gave me. My third teacher was someone who taught me about the spiritual worlds and the spiritual/energetic traditions, and that go back thousands and thousands of years. And I'm forever grateful for him too. He has since left the planet. So it was these 3 teachers of mine that had me understand the quest to realize the importance of energy and how this, what we call the life force. The Chinese call it qi, the Japanese call it ki. It's been called the odic force, the life force energy, the ruach, a lot of different names for this energy. And so as I started to become aware of this, and I delved into the fields of energy medicine and energy psychology, I recognized that there's really something here, and it could be beneficial to help human beings make changes in their lives and to be able to move to the next level. And all of us humans experience the frustration of being here and wanting to be here, trying to get up there, trying to do what we need to do, and then something pulls us back down there. And what was this force? Well, I wanted to learn what it was, and in my journey, I was downloaded an ability to be able to recognize hidden energies. And we all are dealing with energies in everything that we do. So doesn't matter what you're doing, whether it's going to work, having a relationship, going out to dinner, going to the gym, taking care of yourself, whatever, we're all in energetic action. We're all dealing with cause and effect with energetic ramifications. So as I began to study this, and I recognized that the ability to change and to make changes in our lives was frustrating because most people are just using willpower. If you remember January 1st, where people make New Year's resolutions, right? Because this is a great illustration of how the energy works. There's a force or an energy or a motivation, you can call any of those three things, I call it energy, that wants us to be better, that wants us to move forward, that wants us to have more, be more, do more, right? And when the new year comes with, hey, it's a new year, this year I'm gonna make those changes that I wanted to make. Great. So you make the resolution to lose weight, stop smoking, eat better, work out at the gym, etc. And that the force guides you for a week or two or three or maybe even a month to start doing all the things you should do to achieve that aim, right? Cool. But it's not long before another force comes to your awareness. And this force says, do I really want to lose weight? Do I really want to eat better? I know I should, but I don't feel like it. And so you have one force pulling you this way, and you have another force pulling you this way, right? So you have, what I call energetic self-sabotage, whereas you're trying to get over here, but the energy is pulling you over here. And most human beings experience that, the frustration of wanting to be more, wanting to do more, wanting to have more. And it just changed, man. It's just a bitch. It's tough. And some people get where they want to go. Most people, and Shakespeare said, we live lives of quiet desperation. Well, I knew that I wanted to resolve and deal with the energies inside me that were plaguing me, dealing with anxiety and stress and worry all the time. You never know it because, my outward act was being able to, be Mr. Confident or Mr. Tough Guy or Mr. In Control. And yet that was masking fear and, stress, worry, and self-doubt, etc. And I wondered, how do I get rid of this? I tried everything, talking about it, going to counseling, trying to think better thoughts, eating better, praying, you name it, I tried it. And it still persisted. It still stayed the same. And it wasn't until the understanding and the grasp of energy awareness that I was able to make a breakthrough, a big breakthrough. And through the understandings of energy and how it works and the definitions and being able to read hidden energies, and not only read them, but to be able to dissolve them, was I able to make the breakthrough and rid myself of all that junk, all that energetic junk, and experience the life I'd always imagined, a life of peace, a life of happiness, a life of inner bliss. And all the circumstances around my life started to change as I got in tune with the energies. So what I want to give you is a little primer here on what I discovered, and see if this rings a bell for you. So even though there's a lot of energies that are trying to influence us, and how does it influence us? It influences through our thoughts, through our feelings, through our emotions, through our behaviors. And these energies that we're dealing with are external and they're internal as well. So energy has a power, it has a purpose, it has a frequency, it has a direction, and it gives off information. So these same energetic laws that we're dealing with externally, we're dealing with internally as well. And that's pretty powerful, if you're, trying to negotiate a good life on this planet, trying to do the best you can in living on planet Earth. So even though there's multitudes of energies taking place, I recognize that there are basically two forms of energies. And I call them one, high vibration or high frequency energy, and the other one I call low vibration or low vibration frequency energy. And one of the things that I recognize is that we live in this world, in this energetic world, we live under energetic laws. There's certain laws that apply in this world that we live in that no one ever taught us about, you know? And if it was mentioned, it wasn't really mentioned with any real importance. And one of those energetic laws was the law of duality. The law of duality, which means if you're dealing with one thing, you're going to have to deal with another. If there's an up, there's a down. If there's a left, there's a right. If there's a good, there's a bad. If there's a right, there's a wrong. Right? If there's a male, there's a female. If there's a dark, there's a light, etc. Now, why this is important is because as humans, we all want to be happy. We all want to be fulfilled. We want good things happening, feeling good all the time. And when things are going our way, we have no problems, right? Everything's good, no problems. So that's what I call the high vibrational energy. Now, the problems start when we deal with the other frequency or the other vibration, which is the low vibration energy. And that low vibration energy is the stuff that we don't want. The anxiety, the stress, the worry, the doubt, the fears, all of that stuff that we have to deal with every day. We wish we were here staying in the high vibration, but we get thrown into the low vibration energy. And what I realized that these energies are actual entities, intelligent entities that, again, have a purpose, a power, a frequency, and a direction, and it gives off information. So in the high vibrational energies, we see happiness, peace, joy, love, goodness. That's what we're used to seeing, and we want to see more of that. The low vibration energy, again, is disruption, is chaos, is distraction, is anger, is war, is dissension, is chaos. And you don't have to look very far, because remember I said they work externally as well as internally. So if you want to see what the low vibration energy has been doing today, all you have to do is click on the 11 o'clock news, and you'll be able to see war in Syria, famine in the Sudan, disease in the Amazon, starvation, all the low vibration energy. Hey, holy, where does this stuff come from? It just appears out of nowhere. Just, diseases and God forbid, and war and this, that, and that. And it's the same thing internally that we're dealing with. Have you ever had a day where everything's going great and you're feeling fantastic, and all of a sudden the thought comes, yeah, but what about this? Or what about that bill? Or what about that situation? Or what about, what so-and-so's going to do? And it just kind of throws a monkey wrench into your day. And you start moving out of the good and start moving into, what am I going to do about that? Anxiety, worry, stress, doubt. These energies show up in our thoughts, our feelings, and our emotions. And one of the great things, or the most powerful things I realize, is that these energies can influence our thoughts. So if you think about it, right, we all have thoughts. We could just sit back and listen to our thoughts. If you sit back for a moment and just quiet for a second, you have a thought. What about this? What about that? What are we going to do later? How's this going to work? How long is this going to take? What are we going to do later? What's happening tomorrow? You get done almost 40,000 thoughts going through our heads every day. And at least half of these thoughts are low vibration energy thoughts, thoughts that worry us, thoughts that stress us, thoughts that put us into chaos. Just a thought like, oh, did I turn the burner off? Did I leave the front door open? Did I leave the keys in the car? Where's my wallet? Where's my phone? And these thoughts ignite an energy of worry, fear, doubt, chaos. And that has a physiological effect on the body. So Thoughts create energy. Feelings create energy. Emotions create energy. Behaviors create energy. We're constantly creating energy. As you may have heard me say, we are energetic, sending and receiving vehicles. We're sending out energy and receiving energies at the same time. And the energy that we send out has a lot to do with the energies that we're creating in our body. And as I mentioned, thoughts, feelings, emotions are all creating energy. Now, if you don't know how these energies work and to be able to read them and define them, it's like walking around with a blindfold. Because in this life, there are a lot of booby traps. There are a lot of minefields, traps, so to speak, in that we do things that if we only knew the real outcome, we never would do it. In terms of like maybe relationships. If we only knew then what we knew now, we probably never would have done it, because at the end result of something that didn't work out, we go, why did I do this? I should have known better. So these energies affect so many things in our lives. They affect our decision-making process. They affect our ability to decide what's good for us and what's not good for us. And those are decisions that we make daily, isn't it? We're trying to decide what's the best thing for me to eat, what's the best route for me to take to work, what's the best vacation to take, what's the best place to live in, etc. And largely these energies influence our decisions. And when we make the wrong decisions, it's because the energies that aren't good for us influence us to do so, because we didn't get the whole picture. So this is a little bit about how important energy awareness is. And sometimes it mean the difference between having a wonderful, happy, and fulfilled life and not having a fulfilled life. People who get drawn into the different energy fields, it's so easy to get drawn into a low vibration energy field. You just read the paper or you just listen to your thoughts, and they can kind of draw you down into this low vibration energy field. And the way the energy fields work, to me, very simple, is the high vibration energy wants you to have a great life. It wants to uplift you. It wants to inspire you. It wants you to think about, your full potential and what's available to you. The low vibration energy wants to block that. It doesn't want you going into your full potential. It wants to block that. And even though the high vibration energy is the strongest energy, the low vibration energy will do everything it can to block and to sabotage your happiness, your joy, your peace. That's why so many people are looking for inner peace. So many people are looking to, if I could just get some peace of mind. But living life and the things that we experience, so much of that is a low vibration energy. And these low vibration energies, they attach themselves to us. You can actually feel them. When you're upset or you've got anxiety or you're worried about something, it's an actual physical feeling in your body. And I'm going to talk more about that in my next video. But the point I want to make here is that these energies influence us in the physical world, and they have an influence on the quality of our lives. And when you're able to read the energies, when you're able to become energetically aware and read how the energies work and where they're going, it's almost like having a sixth sense or a pair of X-ray vision glasses to be able to see another dimension of reality. And that dimension of reality, I believe, is one of the key factors for us to be happy long-term, because there are energies that want us to have long-term happiness, and there's certain characteristics that they have, and there's energies that want us to have short-term happiness and long-term unhappiness and frustration and suffering, and those have certain characteristics too. So the importance here, I guess the main point I want to make in this video is to awaken you and alert you that there's a whole nother level of reality, a whole nother level of understanding, and a whole lot of other forces going on that we can see. And in my work, I recognize them and document them and learn how to move them and dissolve them and release them. Dissolve, release, and disconnect them from us. Because we're all constantly dealing in energy fields. You're in an energy field now, I'm in an energy field now, all of us are walking energy fields. And without being too technical, I think this is the most fascinating and interesting that I've come across with since I've been studying, since I've been studying life, since kindergarten. Because this is the underlying factor that controls whether you're going to be happy or not, whether you're going to be fulfilled or not, whether you're going to be at peace or not, is the awareness and the understanding of these hidden energies. So I hope that gave you a little bit more insight about what I do and how it works, and I'll be sharing a lot more with you here in the future. But thanks for being with me now. See you soon.